Myself, JVM Shilpa Thakur, Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Jayati Vidyapit Women's University. Today's my topic is about polymers uh, in the novel drug delivery system. Firstly, what do you mean by polymers? Polymer word is derived from Greek roots, that is poly meaning many and meris meaning parts. Definition of polymer as it is: polymers are long-chain organic molecules assembled from many small molecules called monomers. Small units that are called monomers are joined together in a long chain and it forms a polymer. Uh, the polymer is divided in two parts or classified in two parts: copolymer and homopolymer. If the polymer forms a long chain with different monomers in a straight with different two different monomers, that is as shown in the example, it is A is one polymer and B is another polymer. So two different polymers if are connected, two different monomers if are connected and formed a polymer, it is known as copolymer. And if same type of monomers are connected to form a polymer, it is called as homopolymer as shown in the example. Next, we will study about the classification of polymers. The polymers are classified on the basis of four types. First, on the basis of origin of source. Next, based on structure. Third, based on the molecular forces. And fourth, based on the mode of polymerization. First, we will talk about based on the origin of source. Polymers classified on the base of origin into natural polymers, semi-synthetic polymers, and synthetic polymers. First, let us talk about natural polymers. Natural polymers are obviously that are derived from the natural sources. Examples of natural polymers are albumin, cellulose, starch, rubber, wool, etc. Next is semi-synthetic polymers. These semi-synthetic polymers are derived from naturally occurring polymers and they are derived using chemical modifications. That's why it is given the name semi-synthetic, that is partly synthetic polymers. Examples of semi-synthetic polymers are vulcanized rubber, cellulose, diacetate, HPMC, etc. Next is synthetic polymers. These synthetic polymers are of artificial origin, which consist of fibers prepared in laboratory. Examples of synthetic polymers are nylon, polythene, polyester, etc. Next, we will talk about the polymers based on the structure. Based on the basis of structure, polymers are divided into linear, branched, as cross-linked. As it goes with the name, linear polymers are the polymers that are arranged in a straight chain. Example of linear polymers is polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC. Branch polymers are the linear chains having some branches as shown in the diagram. Example of branched polymer is polyethylene. Next, we'll talk about cross-linked polymers. In these polymers, all the molecules are chemically bonded together, forming a three-dimensional network. These are produced from linear and branched polymers. They can be produced using linear and branched polymers, or they can also be produced directly from the chemical precursor. Examples of cross-linked polymers are natural rubber, polyacrylamide gels, etc. Next, we will talk about polymer classification of polymers, that is based on the polymerization. We have two classes, two types, that is addition polymers and condensation polymers. Here, when we talk about the addition polymers, these addition polymers are formed by repeated additions of monomer molecules that possess double bonds or triple bonds. These double or triple bonds will be broken up and single bond structure will be made that will be a uh, straight structure, as the monomers will be continuously added by this process of breaking of the double bonds. Examples of addition polymers are ethylene, polyethylene. One form is converted to another, that is, with the help of loss of atoms and ions from the molecule. Next, we will talk about condensation polymers. In condensation polymers, as shown in the diagram, adipoyl chloride and hexamethylene diamine, they both combine to form a structure of nylon 6,6 nylon. Right? In this, as it is seen, both the molecules are combined together, are attached with each other, and one molecule of HCl will be released, the H of the NH2 group, and Cl, the adipoyl chloride. This will be released, and single structure will be formed, that is known as nylon. And the same process will undergo with the next monomers that will be attached to this structure. Therefore, it is a condensation reaction. It undergoes a condensation reaction. That's why it is called condensation polymer. Examples are terylene, nylon, etc. Next, we'll talk about the classification based on the molecular forces. In this, we'll see thermoplastic polymers. As the name suggests, thermoplastic, that means these can be easily softened when heated. These are the polymers that can be easily softened while heating, and they will get reversibly hardened when again cooled. Hardness is temporary property and it also varies with the temperature. Example is polyvinyl chloride. Next is nylon. It is a general name that is used for all the synthetic fibers forming polyamides having protein-like structure. It is suffixed with nylon, which refers to the number of carbon atoms present in diamine and dialysic acid groups respectively. Next, we will talk about characteristics of ideal polymers. What should be the characteristics of an ideal polymer so that it is easy for us to understand and easy for us to use in the novel drug delivery systems and the novel approaches. But the density of the polymer should be low so that it can be easily used in the novel approaches, as the novel approaches that are being developed are less denser. Next, it should be low coefficient of friction. The polymer should have low coefficient of friction. It should have good corrosion resistance. As we are talking about the novel approaches are just made so that the drawbacks, the advantages of the conventionals can be converted and can be made useful to the humans. So, corrosion resistance power of the polymer should be good. It should have good mold ability. It should be able to mold in any form, in any structure that is needed. Next, excellent surface finish can be obtained. The surface of the finished product should be fine, shiny. Next is can be produced with close dimensional tolerance. Polymer should be economical. It should have poor tensile strength. The tensile strength of the polymer should be poor, and its temperature resistance also should be poor so that it does not transform based on the temperature. The mechanical properties of the polymer should also be low, and the polymer should be such that can be produced in transparent form or in different colored form easily. These were some of the ideal characteristics, or these were some of the characteristics that makes a polymer ideal. Next, let us talk about the mechanisms, general mechanisms of drug release from the polymers, how the polymers can be used so that the drug release is made easy. So for that, we have to study the mechanism from how the drug will be released from the polymer so that we can decide what kind of polymer can be used in different novel drug delivery systems. There are three general mechanisms. One is diffusion, other is degradation, and third is water penetration, which is also known as swelling. First, let us talk about diffusion. In the diffusion, the rate limiting step will be diffusion of drug through inert water insoluble membrane barrier, which should be diffused. Two types of diffusions can be studied. One is reservoir diffusion system, and another is matrix diffusion system. First, let us talk about the reservoir diffusion system. In this, the drug will be contained in the core that is in the middle, and it will be surrounded by a polymer membrane as it is shown in the diagram. The core is of the drug and the outer membrane is of the polymer. Examples of polymers used for this system are poly-N-vinyl pyrrolidine, polyethylene co-vinyl acetate, etc. Drug deliveries by this reservoir diffusion system will be helpful in implantable or oral systems and also in transdermal drug delivery systems that are the novel approaches for the drug delivery. Next, we will talk about matrix diffusion system. In matrix diffusion system, the drug is mixed with the polymer and it is then transformed into the dosage form. So it says drug released either by passing through the pores or between polymer chains, and these controls the delivery rate. Examples of matrix diffusion system: here the drug and the polymer will be combined with each other, and then it will be transformed into a dosage form. So while the releasing of the drug slowly and steadily, the matrix will also be disintegrated, and samely at the same time the drug will be slowly released from the dosage form. Examples are polyethylene and polyvinyl acetate. Next, let us talk about the second, that is degradation. In degradation, we will talk about biodegradation. That is, biodegradation is the chemical change that alters the molecular weight or solubility of the polymers. Biodegradation alters or changes the chemical structure by altering the molecular weight or by altering the solubility of the polymers. In this, erosion takes place by two different methods. One is chemical erosion and other is physical erosion. In chemical erosion, this chemical erosion occurs at the crosslinks or the cracks, and the fragments are broken down and they form monomer units. While in the physical erosion, it occurs by hetero or homogeneous erosion. The same is seen in the diagram. Third, we will talk about water penetration, that is also known as swelling. This mechanism of drug release works like when the dosage form will be placed in the water or inside the body. If we insert the dosage form, we take the dosage form and it enters the body. Obviously, the body contains water and many fluids. So when placed inside the body, it will absorb water or fluid that is surrounded and it will start swelling. As soon as it swells, the active ingredient is homogeneously dispersed from the tablet or from the dosage form. So as shown in the diagram, the H2O, that is water, will enter the dosage form and samely will create a pressure for the drug to exit out of the dosage form so that the drug can get out of the dosage form and can start its effect. Examples are N-isopropyl acrylamide, ethylene vinyl alcohol, etc. Next, role of polymers in drug delivery. These polymers can be used in different drug deliveries, as we discussed some in the middle of the topics. Immediate drug release dosage forms in tablets, capsules, modified drug release dosage forms can be produced using such polymers that we studied, extended release dosage forms, etc. gets fluoretended, same as above. Last is the application of polymers in formulations. Each and every formulation can be uh, made or processed using these polymers. One example is given application, that is osmotic pressure controlled GI delivery system. In this, we can see that the drug molecules are present inside. Semi-permeable membrane is surrounded. It's surrounding the drug molecule. There is a drug delivery orifice. So what will happen? This works on the water penetration or swelling system. Once the GI fluids, once the dosage form enters our body, the GI fluids, gastrointestinal fluids, will have a push on the dosage form, and so the drug will be penetrating out from the orifice. Samely, other applications are also available in gel diffusion controlled drug delivery system, osmotic drug delivery system, transdermal drug delivery system, ocular drug delivery system, etc. And such these topics we will study in detail after in other lectures. Thank you.